Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'll be doing the Tactana, not Tactana, the Rackteers tank division versus the Shrew Dominion in a railway battle against each other. Now, we'll start with the interwar as usual. This time with the Shrew Dominion having old and outdated heavy tanks, quote unquote heavy tanks, as they tried to modernize it, while also borrowing KR2s from the Kraken army and later making their own medium tanks in 1938, and 1937, and against the Rackteers with their late 1938 medium tanks already being outdated because of their design and cannon, and a very heavy World War One modified heavy tank. Who will win? We shall see. Again, uh, I built this tank as an inspiration from the Panzer IV kind of, but decided to change the turret into a boxy one. Uh, I gave this thing a outdated and tiny engine with also a very tiny gun, and the frame drops. So I'll just expect this thing not to be able to kill anything that the Shrew Dominion chucks at this thing. Because the heavy tanks that they got, even though they're outdated, they have been modernized to fit better weapons and a lot bigger guns. Now here's one. Oh! Turret pen. Oh. You can still do it. Oh, he lost his... Yeah. Alright, that was one down. Oof, we're losing this battle. I'll switch to the heavy tank. Now the heavy tank. Oh baby. Uh, I think a 90 or 100 millimeter turret gun. Very powerful for its time. Shit. Oopsie poopsie. I mean, yeah. Very powerful for its time. Oh crap. Oh no. He's looking at me. Ah, APHE does not do well. APHE doesn't do very well. Now look at this. The World War One design is handling tank shells from the interwar tanks. Now that's difficult to pen though, because the Shrew Dominion did modernize all of their outdated tanks. So there's not much I can do. Oh, I'll switch to another tank. Oh, this thing sucks. This thing, even though other countries have adapted to this, it's still not very good, just because of its tiny turret not being able to fit a big enough gun. And the fact that there were already better interwar tanks. But because the Rackteers got their new country leader later than other countries, they didn't build up their army or military force fast enough before the World War in my fictional universe. But oh well. Well, we can already see the outcome of this battle. The Yeah, I don't think the Rackteers are winning this one. They just have outdated weapons. They can't face against this kind of weaponry. It's kind of like, oh, well, I think we all know the outcome of that battle. But still, yeah, okay. Now time to set up the next battle, which will be the early war. The early war Rackteers start to get better, I think. Not really. This time they start adapting to light tanks instead. Yeah, they start using a lot more lighter tanks, and sadly, it's gonna be hard for them because the Shrew Dominion used a lot more heavier tanks. Yeah, no, I do not think the Rackteers have got this. Anyway, there's a lot of lore to my tanks I'm trying to write, although, eh, I really don't think the Rackteers are gonna win this one. Again, even though their entire army decided to go with a lighter approach, they still have outdated tanks. Their guns are outdated, but their light tank design isn't. Surprisingly, the light tank design is effective for its role on reconnaissance and flanking. The only problem is that it is limited by its lack of firepower, being absolutely shredded, but still managing to kill some of the heavier mediums. Oh yeah, and then the early war heavy tank, the interwar heavy tanks also got redesignated to to medium light, just because they perform like a medium tank but are weighed the same as a light tank. But no, the Rackteers got shredded faster this time. This is not a good. This is not looking good for them. Although that's what you get for starting out the your military career late, starting out like building your army late. Anyway, that was not a very interesting battle. Although now it's time for the mid-war where they all get better. Okay, so five, six mediums, two heavies, two SPGs, and I think we'll get the Rackteers a break on this one. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the Rackteers get a new medium tank, although it's not very well built, in my opinion. I don't like its design. Also, they also get a heavy tank, the hull stolen off of the Kraken army's uh, prototype heavy tanks, or like a special heavy tank battalion. Also managing to modify their light tanks to have a bigger gun and a better turret to fit it. The Shrew Dominion adopts the Kraken heavy tanks since they actually can't make a successful design on one. Yes, borrowed. They also upgraded their Teller Ds to D3Es, and also modified the D3s to D3Y, fitting a very powerful big gun. Anyway, we'll see how this one works out. Starting off with the new Rackteers medium tank. It is pretty skinny. Its armor is decent for its time. It can bounce a couple of shots, but big guns are too big, it won't be able to bounce. Its gun on it is very, very good. It actually can punch through a lot of things, it's just that it'll struggle in heavy tanks. Ayo. Oh, first guy down. We're winning this one, surprisingly. Oh. Oh, we're winning this one really fast. Maybe the guns, or maybe I underestimated the performance. I'm really proud of this light tank. I don't know, I feel like the turret's a little bit too big. But its speed is actually very, very good, especially across bumpy terrain. It is also very close to the ground because of its type of suspension it has. But yeah. So the last one is a medium tank down there. Oh damn. Medium tank's starting to push back against us. Killed already 2 of ours. 3 of ours. Oh, the last 2. There goes one. Goodbye. And there goes the other. Now, the thing I always design all of my tanks with is only one singular reverse gear. I don't know why. I think I should increase it just because I did make every single tank have twin transmission, meaning that it needs to have a better reverse gear, otherwise turning on the spot is not valid. Anyway, the last part of the video, we are now going to the late war period. The late war period. Wow, it's a fast video, hey? Late war period, we'll go all out with this one. So the late war period is nothing special here. It's just a better lineup of mediums and lights with a better gun and faster engine. But the Shrew Dominion, oof. This time they get oh KR3s. The KR3s. Oh no, they're gonna get shredded out there. Maybe. The KR3s are absolutely deadly. These ones are even more deadly though. This time, even though they're fitted with the same gun, this time they have a sneaky 150mm plate on the frontal hull where the ammo is located to stop it from getting, when it pinned, to stop it to from getting ammo wrecked. It does offset the center weight, but that's not really a problem since these things' engines are super powerful. It is a problem on these things that the fact that they're really, really fast. Although these tanks are really fast though. But the KR3s, they're weird. They don't do good against bots because bots always hit all their weak spots. but then you face them against player targets, and that's when players start to struggle because they don't know where to shoot. In my opinion, I think the KR3 is a misleading tank. Had a battle once where they thought my tanks would absolutely smash everyone's. Yeah, a custom battle in a server that I was in. They did decent just because of their design. Because I like to design them on hard to hit weak spots. But because this game has bots that will always know where all the weak spots are, usually anyway, that depends if your tank is confusing or not, they'll always hit the weak spots on my tank designs. But god damn, I'm proud of this one. This one survived from the start of Sprocket, like before they had freeform. I managed to build a KR3, a custom KR3. I'll show you guys in another video, another time. But, oh, I absolutely loved that tank. Although, I did make it go, I think, back then I made it go 70 kilometers an hour. Or when all the weights didn't interfere. Because you could quite literally make a mouse, like, a mouse with a lot better armor, a lot bigger engine, and it would still be lighter than the real mouse back then. It was actually kind of goofy. But now, because they made this game a lot more realistic, can't do that anymore, which I'm glad. Oh, well, well, glad they did that. I can't wait for the realism. There's more realism coming out, which is internals, realistic internals. I can't wait to redo all of my tanks. I'm actually kind of excited to do that one. Oh shit. Oh shoot. I need to calm down, man. Alright. I kind of seems like a stalemate here. You can't really force them to fight just because none of them's gonna move.